Okay, I missed some high points. Everything is sort of bland. So you do the second theme and then you shoot to the stratosphere again, to the high D. That's very dramatic, and it changes completely the way the piano is accompanying, the orchestra is accompanying you. So whatever you do at the high D onwards needs to be the opposite of what you did before. So if you're lyrical and softy before, you need to be a little more striking now, okay? And then as we're getting to the end of this, I'm not really hearing those 40 pianos or the meaning of them. What are they there for? Why did Mozart went to the trouble of putting 40 piano there, right? There's got to be a musical reason for that, not just a punch, but a musical reason. And then this too, so there are 3 endings to this thing. He tries twice and it doesn't work. And then he goes through all of that and finally gets it right. Yeah. Right? That trial and error I need to understand. So one more time in the same place, please. It doesn't sound like an ending. I wish he would play like, I found it. Here it is, now we got it. We are in G major. Oh, oops, no, we're not yet there. And then we go, now this is the, no, not really. Okay, he's playing a game with you there. And you're doing it so serious that we don't get the funny part of it, okay? So here, you are finishing it. This is the end of the exposition. Over. And then at the last minute, you decide to go to a D. And the orchestra goes into shock and stops playing. And then you play triplets. Like, what are you doing? There are no triplets here anywhere. This is crazy. This just doesn't exist. You can't do that. And the orchestra stops. And they come in, pum, 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 like they're scared. Right? And then you play all of those things there. As if that has to be the That means this one, you got it. It has to be longer.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Yeah. And then it's a big confusion. If you notice, this whole thing is a joke. This whole piece. According to the rules of a concerto form that's based on the sonata form, the minute you come in here, 32, you have to play bum bum ba ba dum ta ta da da pa 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 bum bum ta da da dum pa. You never play that. Instead, you play one bar phrase. The orchestra goes into shock for the first time since the beginning. There are no running eighth notes there, right? And they go into shock and stop, and then you go to the stratosphere and stay there for an obscene amount of time. This will be today equivalent for us playing a high G. Mm-hmm. The orchestra sees no other choice than for them to play the thing themselves. And turns out you never play the first theme, ever. This is crazy. It's against the rules. You can't do that. So what the point Mozart is saying is that he is stretching the meaning of the rule as saying, yeah, the first theme has to be replayed when the soloist comes in, but nobody said who has to play it, right? In the quartet is the same thing. The recap is the second theme, because he made the first and the second theme have the same melody. As he's saying, well, nobody said the two themes have to have different melodies. So he's always playing these games. This kind of thing made people go nuts because he's constantly challenging the rules, okay? Yet he made beautiful music with that. So they had to praise him on one side and hate him for the other. If all the composers did this kind of thing, sonata form would have died. he can't, right? All the time here, he's breaking these rules. And this is one of them. So with this in mind, I want you to play and interpret this as if you're playing this for the very first time. And you want to show these shocking things because there has never been anything written for the oboe quite like this before Mozart, where people would do, this is just bizarre. In the chromatic scale going upstairs, this is just, you're not supposed to write it this way. What is that? Okay, it's absurd. It's almost insulting to everything we have known about oboe playing in musical composition. Yet he does it in a way that's admirably beautiful. Okay, so these things have to be present in your performance. At the one time, making it beautiful, and the other constantly challenging things. So I want you to play as if this is going to be the end of it. And then you restart it again, and then you're going to end it now. Okay, enough jokes. And then you get them again. Okay? So same place, please, one more time. Yeah. Now we get the energy. Another place that stopped for me is this other business here. This is the climax of the entire movement. From here on is downhill, right? So you cannot stop too much on these rests. The energy has to keep flowing, or else it doesn't flow. So we're going to do from here, from the recap at 120. And all the time when we have these rests, yes, we make contrasts, but we cannot let the energy die at no moment, okay? So from there, please, 120. I don't get it, because you're using practically the same family of dynamics and colors for both sections of the phrase you just played. One of them is horribly dramatic. He puts the kind of harmony he puts there as if he's losing his life. And then he makes a change and everything changes for a more calm harmony. Mm-hmm. But you're using exactly the same material. So come here, please. This part, you need to be more dramatic. You don't need to be louder. You can be softer, okay? But whatever you do here needs to change when you go to this. So if you're softer but tense on this part, here it needs to relax and be more open, okay? Or if you're louder there, then you can be a little bit softer there. But no, there's a big change that happens right here when the orchestra plays. Right? One more time, please. Same place.